To relieve my stress, I paid a couple of homeless guys to use me in any way they wanted.
What? Today I'm gonna be checking out crazy TikTok story times that y'all sent me on Discord. Link is in the description if you want to send me more stories.
Why is there a hole in the Nutella jar?
What hole?
The gaping hole in the middle of the jar. It's about 4 inches deep and an inch wide.
Very peculiar.
This is
I know,
nasty.
right? It also smells weird.
That's probably because it's expired.
I bought it yesterday, and it didn't have a hole in it last night. What could have possibly happened?
Tough question. Just throw it out?
No.
Yes.
Nope.
Yup.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
I feel like you know what happened to the jar. Can you just be honest with me?
Honest about what? What are you even asking?
Whatever it is, you're not telling me. Don't you trust me? It can't be that bad.
You're right, it's not. Well, actually, it's pretty bad.
So you do know what happened?
Shit. Look, I can
Have y'all actually gotten that urge? Let's be honest. I don't think I've ever in my life looked at peanut butter, looked at chocolate, jello, and thought, let me stick it in. Maybe I've done the same to a couch. Maybe I thought about it with a pillow. Peanut butter? You're disgusting. Or chocolate.
My little transgen brother told me that he's tired of his boyfriend's rear end and that he would prefer mine. That evening.
What? Okay. My headrest just fell. Let's restart the story and I gotta focus for this one because I feel like this could get real serious and real deep.
My little transgen brother told me that he's tired of his boyfriend's rear end and that he would prefer mine. That evening, I accidentally visited my grandfather's attic and found a flamethrower. Since our childhood, my transgender brother has always had a somewhat eccentric attitude. He has always preferred playing with my older sister rather than with me because they shared the same interests.
Okay.
So, we quickly suspected something. However, we come from a rather open-minded family, so he quickly felt comfortable and I was happy about it. Unfortunately, he faced a lot of bullying at school, so we moved to a calmer and more open-minded place. There, he started indulging in his passions, like dancing to Shakira on his TikTok account, and it didn't seem to bother his classmates. Around the age of 14 or 15, he started wanting to transition because he no longer felt like a man. So, he went to see a doctor who prescribed hormonal medication that quickly changed his physical appearance and his voice. My parents told him that he should wait to undergo a complete transition, but personally, I no longer recognized him. I was 3 years older than him when he turned 16 and had his first boyfriend. They got along great.
I mean, how are you gonna recognize him? Isn't he going through like a whole bunch of changes? So like, what do you mean I recognize him? Like personality wise or visually?
A lot of makeup, and I have to admit, I liked it. Little by little, I accidentally opened the door to his—
Wait, let's hear that again.
I was 3 years older than him when he turned 16 and had his first boyfriend. They got along great. He wore a lot of makeup, and I have to admit, I liked it. Little by little, I accidentally opened the door to his room and clearly saw things that I wouldn't have wanted to see, like girls' clothes and other accessories. At this point, I no longer recognized my little brother at all, and it had been 6 months since he started dating. One day, during a family dinner, he felt very comfortable and we were talking about his boyfriend. He said that things were not going well, that he was getting a little tired of him, and that he didn't find him masculine enough. I started feeling uncomfortable and told him that he shouldn't speak like that at the dinner table. That's when he said, "Well, I like it when you talk to me with authority like that." I looked at him strangely and asked why he had said that. He replied that he liked it when I gave him orders. I told him that he was bothering me and that he should be quiet.
I'm getting bothered.
He clearly said that it excited him and that he would gladly exchange his current boyfriend's rear end for mine. My whole family looked at him and I stood up to ask him to repeat what he had just said.
You just didn't do that, bro. That's not at the dinner table is crazy. Guys, I have a confession to make in front of the whole family. I want to have sex with my brother.
He said that it was supposedly a joke. How could he talk to me like that and humiliate me in front of the whole family? That evening, I was a little angry, so I went for a walk in the attic. There, I stumbled upon a flamethrower that belonged to my grandfather. You can click on share and more to see if there is a part 2.
I don't care for no part 2. Something stupid's gonna happen. You're not about to use a flamethrower on your brother, so I already know that's not going to be the answer. What are you gonna do, threaten him? Or are you gonna stick the flamethrower up your rear end?
My mom caught me sucking her husband's meat.
Let's see what they're talking about.
The day after Thanksgiving, I, 18F, was giving a blowy to my stepdad, 33M, while my mom, 45F, was gone. We've been really careful about making sure we're alone when we hook up.
How old are you?
But we just misjudged the time we had. We heard her get home, but my door was open so we didn't have enough time to get dressed before she walked in and saw us. She yelled at my stepdad and told him to leave. Then she closed my door and I was ready for her to start yelling at me too.
I feel like you have plenty of time to get dressed if you caught her like hearing the car door. Like that is a plenty of time. You clearly never had to rush a day in your life. It's 30-40 seconds to get dressed and your clothes are there on the floor. Like, or just someone grab the clothes and run to the bathroom. It sounded like y'all weren't locked in, to be honest.
But that wasn't what she did.
What did she do?
She thought he was taking advantage of me and started telling me that everything was all right, and I wouldn't have to see him again. I started crying and she hugged me, but then I told her the truth about how I seduced him and I very much wanted this to be happening. I could tell she was getting mad at me, but she didn't raise her voice or anything. She just let me explain everything, and then left. Then I heard her screaming at my stepdad, but I couldn't really make out what they were saying. An hour later I heard the door slam and a car start, Then Daddy walked into my room and explained that Mom left to stay with her sister while she decided if she was going to divorce him or not.
What do you mean decide? I feel like that's a quick, easy decision to make. That's very easy. I'm divorcing from the husband and the child. You can keep her.
We had a pretty long conversation about our future together and basically decided we would stick together no matter what. He slept in my bed that night and the next, but we didn't do anything other than cuddle both of the whole weekend because neither of us were in the mood.
Yeah,
Both of us tried calling her a few times but she wouldn't answer. Then that Monday she came back home at
she's gonna be what? Well, since you're sleeping with my daughter, I'm sleeping with your son!
her regular time after work. We had a conversation together as a family, and shockingly she said it was fine if we kept effing as long as we only did it in my room and
What in the buffoonery? What in the cataclysmic nonsense is going on, bruh?
only if Daddy wore protection every time.
Yep, that's the important part. It doesn't really count if protection is being worn. Yep.
Then she showed my stepdad a video of her getting pounded by her coworker.
I mean, that's better than the sun, you know? That's much better, so hey.
And a picture of her with cream all over her face, which is something she never let my stepdad do.
Why do you know that? Oh, are we not at the family table? I guess this is a strange family dynamic considering what's occurred, I guess.
Said she was going to keep effing him and whoever else she wanted for as long as me and Daddy were still doing it.
Okay.
Daddy didn't have a problem with any of that. So after we all had dinner, he went to the store and bought a giant box of protection and put it right on my nightstand. We've effed every day since then, even if my mom was in the house and she has spent a couple more nights sleeping somewhere else too.
Y'all don't have like jobs or something every day. I don't sleep. Y'all don't got hobbies or something. Goodness gracious. These are fantastic, lovely stories, man.
Brutal, explicit, naughty, seductive, hardcore, adult, sex, erotic, taboo, sexy short stories compilation. Hot brats, age gap, dirty family, virgin first time, dark romance. I'm about to fuck your mouth, baby, he warns me, raising his eyebrows in anticipation of my response. I manage, with a mouth full of hard cock. His hand instantly grips my hair as his hips thrust forward, fast and hard, pumping me like we're fucking. The tip of his cock slams into the back of my throat over and over, my filling with tears as I struggle to breathe with the obstruction. Oh fuck, he groans, and it's all worth it. He's freaky, I like that. And now it's a competition, who can outdo the other. I'm determined not to lose, and taking his thrusts down my throat is only the first step. His second hand drops to my head so he can grip me tightly, his hips surging forward rapidly. There's nowhere for me to go. I'm forced to take his jabs, and my eyes close as the tears build. Look at me, baby. Let me see your eyes. He grunts, and I do as he says. Romance, bad boy, dominant, good girl, possessive, extra erotic, sex, some contemporary.
Y'all have scarred me. Y'all deserve to be whooped. Where's y'all parents at?
I shot up 7 thugs because they tried to steal my leftover chicken. My name is Beatrice, and I identify as that knicker.
Okay, Beatrice. I'm gonna let you have your 20 seconds of fortune and fame.
After cremating my husband, I was hungry, so ate some Ghanaian chicken. I put the bones in the trash, and a pack of thugs came rushing to claim it. I told them to back off and pulled out a pump shotgun and double pumped all 7 of them.
Okay.
My doctor said I have 2 weeks left. Is that good or bad?
I don't even remember your name. That's how irrelevant you are to me. Okay. We let her have her 26 seconds, man.
My cop sister wants to arrest me because her 8-year-old son tripped hard after eating my special mushrooms. My police officer sister and her nephew Matthew were visiting me, and I planned to have a mushroom trip that day, so I had a few peanut butter and shroom sandwiches stored in the fridge. My nephew said that he was starving and I offered to make him a sandwich. My sister insisted on doing it herself, so I let her. Shortly after, my sister returned back to me and we continued our conversation. 1 hour passes by and suddenly, we both see Matthew standing in front of the window, staring into the abyss. We both thought it was strange, so we called after him, but no answer. When we approached to talk with him, he had a big smile on his face, but he wouldn't speak to us.
Who's at fault there? Because technically, it sounds like this is his house. This is his refrigerator. I'm not a drug addict. How do you get shrooms mixed up in normal peanut butter and jelly? Where are the shrooms at? Is it shroom bread? I'm gonna let him explain.
My sister instantly panicked and began asking him what was going on. In the moment, I totally forgot about those sandwiches, so I thought that the kid was just effing with us, trying to scare us. My sister kept
Oh, so he already had the sandwiches pre-made. So it is her fault. She just grabbed random sandwiches from inside the refrigerator. Oh yeah, I'm not taking no blame for this. It's not my fault.
Panicking, and that made her son also panic. From a big smile on his face, he quickly became scared, acting like he was seeing a demon in front of his eyes. I tried to calm them both down, but no chance. Matthew started running away from my sister, screaming at her, "Leave me alone. You want to kill me?" The situation quickly turned into my sister chasing her son through my house. I was standing there in shock. I didn't know what to do. Suddenly, I remembered about those shroom sandwiches, so I ran as fast as I could to my fridge, and like I expected, all of those sandwiches were gone.
What do you mean all of them?
All that was going through my head was that my nephew is going to end up a lunatic because of me.
What do you mean all of them? Should have at least put it on the top part of the refrigerator, man. At the very top, so we couldn't reach it or something. This is just not a problem that most people will have day to day, so I don't even know how you solve it. I don't even know how you go, I don't know.
My sister came back to me, in tears, telling me that her son has locked himself up in the toilet and doesn't want to come out. She wanted to call an
Hopefully he
ambulance and
doesn't
get him to
bite
the
the
hospital.
toilet bowl.
Trying to fix the situation, I admitted to my sister everything. I told her that her son ate all of my shroom sandwiches and that he is tripping balls. She didn't even know that I had ever done mushrooms. It was a shock for her. The truth is that almost nobody knew. It was one of my little secrets. She turned very fast from being panicked to being angry on me. She tried to hit me, but I dodged her punches. For 10 minutes straight, she kept shouting at me on how I ruined her entire son's life. I kept telling her that she was not supposed to give him those sandwiches. She was supposed to make him some new ones, but
that's
that made
what
her
she
much
said.
angry. The whole situation started.
She literally said she was gonna make some. So why say you're gonna make some? You're gonna take them out the man. And then she gave him more than one. He's 8 years old, fat ass kid.
Me off more and more. I told her that if she was so lazy to make her kids some new sandwiches, she should have asked me to do it. I mean, who goes into other people's fridges and takes their food without asking them first? That's extremely rude. It was not the best idea to tell her that it was her fault. It made her lose it, and I've never seen that expression on her face. She was low-key scaring me, like she was about to kill me. But
womp womp, that's not gonna help your son be better, you terrible mother.
Take responsibility for something that was her fault, and I will not let her talk to me like I am the worst human being in the entire world. She threatened me that she would arrest me and throw me in jail for the rest of my life. I did my best to calm her down, but it was a hard job. 2 hours passed by of her threatening me, screaming at me, but I was taking it all in.
Honestly, at that point, I'll give the kid a swirly. You know, you're gonna keep talking to me like I did something bad to your kid. I'm about to do something bad. Put your head in this bowl. Put your head in this bowl. I hope you learn. I hope you grow gills. I hope you learn how to breathe in it, because you're not coming out, buddy.
Anything that I was saying was making her angrier. Eventually, I went to go speak with her son. I went to the toilet door and talked with him. I assured him that everything is fine. No one is coming after him and that me and his mother both love him. My approach worked and he got out of the toilet and ran into my arms, hugging me with tears in his eyes. My sister took him, didn't say any word, and just left my house. It's been a week since this incident happened and my sister doesn't answer any of my texts or calls. Should I go to my sister's house to see what's up, or should I just wait and hope that I will not spend my life in jail? One thing I know though, I did a much better job to calm my nephew down than his own mother did.
Yeah,
she should be thanking me.
Honestly, burn the sister's house. Just burn it down, you know? She want to be like that, she can have it. Have a burnt house with that bad attitude of hers. Obviously, that's a joke. Obviously, I'm not serious. I don't know what you do in that situation. I say ignore her. Honestly, don't talk to her. Let her come to you, man. Live life. Keep doing your shrooms or whatnot. But you watching me, you better not be doing shrooms.
Pounded my daughter after she saw me pleasuring myself.
Do we even want to listen to this? Like, do we even want to? Let's keep it a bar. What do you have to say?
I, 42M, have been single for 5 years since my partner passed away. My daughter, 26F, came home to visit while she thinks about moving back to my town. I have since moved into a small 1-bedroom apartment, so there was no real room for her, but she's only staying 2 weeks.
Okay.
I haven't seen her in over a year, even though we talk every week. She and I are very close. When I picked her up from the airport, my heart raced. We held hands an entire drive home.
What?
Having a woman in the house again felt really good.
What do you mean you held hands the entire way home? Why? Who hold hands in cars? Y'all do that? The whole ride? Like 30 minutes y'all holding? Okay.
I had a list of chores for her to do and she started almost immediately. I told her I wanted to thank her for her work and she suggested we go out to a nice restaurant. I was excited since I mostly cook at home for myself and it has honestly been a few months since I've been on a date. I got dressed and we went to a nice Italian restaurant she picked. She was so attentive the entire night. It was sweet, and when she suggested I have another glass of wine, I didn't hesitate. We went for a short walk after dinner and I hung off her arm and we talked about her boyfriend. It was the happiest I've been in a while. When she drove us home, she grabbed my hand and held it, initiating the contact. When we got home, we talked more and she massaged my shoulders and then neck. It was heaven. I realized that I was enjoying being touched too much and excused myself, saying I was going to bed.
I'm out.
Instead of going to bed, he started stroking. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. What corn addict make this? That's the real question.
I went to my room and put a towel on my bed and got comfortable. I was about to stroke myself, but my daughter walked in. She then saw me obviously exposed. She then started smirking. Press share and more for part 2.
No, I can't even press share more, but I don't care to know part 2. I hope a meteor hit the household and everything burned up in flames. That's what I really hope for.
I accidentally plowed my younger sister and it did not go well. I accidentally plowed the heck out of my little sister. I have a much younger sister, 3, who I am really fond of as I really like little kids.
I'm not listening to this. Y'all think it's gonna be like a turn where it's like he's talking about, I don't know, don't you plow land like with a machine or tractor or whatever? I don't know, bro. Maybe it's just gonna flip the script on us. Please don't be this BS the whole time.
Kids. Specifically, if they are under 13 because the younger the better.
Never mind. I don't care no more.
Son pounded me after catching.
I asked for crazy stories. I didn't ask for incest. Okay, there's more crazy things in the world besides incest. All right?
Catching me pleasuring myself.
It's the same story that we just read, just back. Oh, okay. I'm getting a headache.
Hot mom gave me the gawk.
Next.
Story time about how I slept with my teacher and got pregnant.
You know what? I much rather listen to this than the other BS that was being heard. Let's give this a shot.
Little background information. I was 18 and in 12th grade. I had always had trouble in school, especially history class. And I had always had tutors and everything like that. And eventually I just got tired of trying to get my grade up because I realized that it was never going to happen. So my teacher was 27 years old. We're going to call him Mike. And Mike had a girlfriend. He had been staying after school helping me like every single day. From like 3 o'clock till 5 o'clock.
2 hours. Oh yeah, no, that's some crazy grooming because you're a teacher. You're living off a teacher's paycheck and you're wasting 2 of their precious hours. You could actually be doing something with tutoring, like hour of tutoring at most. After a school day hour tutoring, you know, sometimes teachers do Saturday tutoring. That could be like an hour and a half, 2 hours. I get that. An hour? I mean, 2 hours after school? Come on now. No.
Well, the one day I had this outfit on that maybe wasn't that appropriate. And I was being super flirty with him the whole time. To be honest, I just didn't want to put in the effort to get up my grades. And then 10 minutes later, he started getting handsy. And I told him that if he wanted to do anything, he had to get my grade up for me. So he did just that. Well, for the next couple of months, I would go over to his house to study.
That's a crazy time skip. No, that's a crazy time skip. And do parents don't let kids go to teacher's house to study, do they? Are parents that unattentive? That literally sounds like a trap. What do you mean you want my child to come to your house to study? There's a whole building dedicated to study. Y'all can study there. Honestly, I need this type of break. I needed this so badly. Much needed.
McDonald's fucking forgot my chicken McNuggets, so I bombed the store.
KFC kicked me out because I shit in their frying pan. My name is Big Boy Trevon, and I was in the KFC last week when I suddenly had the urge to take a shit, and the queue for the toilets was too long for me. After asking multiple times to let me go to the toilet to take a dump, they wouldn't let me. I had enough. I was so mad I sneaked behind the counter with my 355-pound body and took a shit in the frying pan.
You're more than 355 pounds. I've seen with 300 pounds. Like, I mean, unless you're like 5'2". Regardless, the first story that was about to be told was going to be 10 times more entertaining. Because what do you mean you bombed the McDonald's? I don't know why we had to get this BS story instead of the first one.
I let an old man pound my pink kitty cat. I'm an 18-year-old female. I was driving home from visiting my friend in California. It was a 20-hour drive, and I could not afford a hotel.
Jesus, where are you going?
I decided to stop at a truck stop and sleep in my car because I was too tired to drive and I hate driving in the dark. I parked near the trailer truck so no one would see me inside the truck stop.
Okay.
I got a pounder to take the edge off so I could sleep while I'm in my car drinking.
I got a pounder to take the edge off. What the hell is that sentence?
A trucker knocked on my window and explained I couldn't park there. I told him I just didn't want anyone to see me drinking in my car and call the cops since I was sleeping in my car. And he offered to let me go up in his truck to drink. I got up in this old man's truck. He must have been in his 60s, and we talked and he drank too and offered me shots.
You can still get it up?
Laying down in his bed in the back to rest my eyes. And the next I remember was it being pitch dark, and me being unclothed. He didn't have on clothes and laying behind me. I could feel his hot dog on my bun, and he had my one leg lifted over his legs, as he was rubbing my kitty cat. And I was soaking wet. I was faintly making noise because it felt so good. And then he went down and started licking my meow meow.
When I say I'm getting a headache, I'm being serious. It's not a joke, it's not an exaggeration, it's not a bit. No, my head is pounding. Even I, who sees stupidity on the daily, can only take but so much. It gets to a point where the cup is getting filled and now it's overflowing stupidity. That's what's happening right now. This is dumb.
I poo-pooed and pee-peed on my desk and threw it on my teacher because she gave me a bad grade.
I think I am scrapping this idea. We're never doing this again. We just armed. This is a one-time. I think this might just be a one-time thing. Cause what are y'all doing, guys? What do y'all got going on?
What's your NSFW fun time secret?
What does that mean?
Last night after my husband and I had fun time and he had already crossed the finish line once, I talked to him about how I had crossed the finish line earlier that day, imagining him being with a much younger woman, around 19 and being her first. He immediately got a dog bone again as I described how good he would treat her, and I glucked him all the way to another finish line as he described what he was doing with her. I want to be the only female in a gang party while hubby watches from the sidelines.
What's a sign that someone didn't like you that you like back?
Shorty I've been talking to for a minute. Talked to her in class, got her number, and it was one of those things where you're trying to schedule a date, but it always gets kind of pushed out. I see her, I'm like, yo, let's go out. I'll buy you dinner Friday night. She's like, I would, but I can't this week. My cousin died in a shooting. I can't go. I want to be with my family right now. Next week, I'm at a bar, right? I see her cousin at the bar with his people. I text her immediately. I'm like, what's up? Why is your cousin alive? So
asking her why your cousin's alive is a crazy question.
It was another cousin, obviously, so now she's cherishing all her cousins. You know, I respect it,
crazy,
man.
because I saw that, bro. I thought it was a ghost.
It's only one way to get back at her.
Yo, look, I'm working on it, bro. You can't tell me a lie and expect me not to make it reality, bro. Something like that's crazy.
Nah, I feel you, bro.
Stand on it. Stand on it.
Do, bro. And then I gotta show up to the funeral, bro.
Yes, and ask her out on a date.
When I was 8, me and my dad was in the shower together and his meat slapped me. Baby, you a victim. There's certain things that you guys need to be sending to the police and not me.
Certain things that we just don't need to know. I never needed to know that.
So I let this girl eat my kitty cat because I gave her a ride home. So I remember one night I was at this bar with people I went to high school with, right? So long story short, when everybody was about to leave, this girl that I kind of knew but not really came up to me and she asked me for a ride home. So I asked her where she stayed at, and she basically didn't stay that far away from me. Like, her house was on the way to my house, if you know what I mean. So I said, yeah, and I basically took her to her house. Boom. So when we got to her house, she thanked me for the ride and she gave me a hug. But when she gave me a hug, her hand ended up on top of my cat. And then
So she just wrapped around and she would just dig in there because you don't do it on accident. You can't. You can't just. You said you barely knew her too. You're a victim.
She started like rubbing it, if you know what I mean. And then she started like licking my neck, trying to like seduce me. To be honest with y'all, I wasn't really attracted to her, but at this point, she had already started reaching into my, you know. So me being me, I basically leaned the seat back and we got it on.
What do you mean you being you? Leaned the seat back, but I thought you were out. She hugged you while y'all were sitting in the car. And so it was a one-handed hug. Hi, go you, I guess.
Woke up to getting my cat licked and abused by 5 guys.
Abuse is just the very worst word to use in this situation if this story is going where it could go.
I was overworking one night and got off at 10 p.m. To relieve my stress, I paid a couple of homeless guys to use me in any way they wanted.
What?
This meant they could pound my cat raw, milk in my throat, and even face pound me. To my surprise, they did all of this. They pounded my cat, gave me a special facial, and even milked inside of cat and had my liquids and their milk combined. The luxury of this
I thought you were tired after work. You don't sound tired to me.
Felt so good, lol. So after about an hour of me being used...
Why did they have to be homeless too? Why didn't you just ask your co-workers? At least you know they might wash. You don't know how clean a homeless person can be.
By these homeless men, it was 12 a.m. I offered them a chance to stay at my house for the night. We all slept in the bed together whilst completely unclothed. As we were trying to go to sleep, we were kissing, gurking each other off, and they were even playing with my...
What do you mean, gurking each other off? They gurked you? How did they gurk you, ma'am? Ma'am, how were you getting gurked?
Cherries. It was so fun. Around 3 a.m. or 4 a.m., I was done being used by them. Since I had made them milk 20 times each. I was sleeping peacefully, dreaming about the time I sucked 50 hot dogs in one night at an...
All right. On to the next.
Hey, so one time when I was in class, I had a very aggressive urge to fart. I was scared it was more than a fart, so I asked the teacher to go to the bathroom and she said yes. I ran down the hallway with my hands on my butt preparing for the worst. I reached the bathroom and slammed the door shut and had the most stinky, slinky, dinky, double-decker Twinkie, extra pepperoni, piggy, sticky shard in the whole world. The walls started to cave in and I'm pretty sure I saw Jesus out the window. The fire alarm went off and everyone was screaming. They thought Thanos snapped his fingers. I screamed in the bathroom sounding like a dying goat. I stopped after 5 minutes and felt like I just killed half the all-known universe myself.
Why couldn't y'all give me more stories like that? Why are all the other stories just, you know what they are? Why? Tell me why.
Students are sleeping, snoring, and even beating it in classes across the country, with one student even bringing a whole air mattress to class.
How did he get through the front door with the air mattress in class?
Teachers and professors aren't happy about this new problem at all.
I've never heard of this
history
one.
class. That shit like watching paint dry. Thank God for technology so I can just snooze and stroke during that shit. Time to go to history class.
It's all because of this app called TurboLearn, which allows students to sleep while it automatically takes notes for them based on what the professor is saying.
Is this an ad?
My stepson slipped his hand under my skirt during dinner, and when he realized I wasn't wearing any panties, he got even more indulgent and slipped his fingers inside me. My pussy tightened and I closed my eyes, enjoying the feel of his hands.
That's the intro? Like the intro is just gonna keep going?
But wanting more, I wiggled my hips slightly, completely forgetting to stay calm.
We're still going.
Just then, someone stood up from their seat. It was Richard. He was once my mate, but he had rejected me, deeming me too weak.
What?
Since we're all here,
my mate?
why not
What are we in medieval fantasy? What do you mean my mate? Rejected me because I'm too weak. What is he, Goku?
Share with us how you came to meet your lovely queen. He sneered at Lucien, the king. Before sitting down, his words made my eyes widen. I wanted to punch him for trying to humiliate me. Lucien remained silent for a moment. Why are you so intrigued? Richard, my stepson, Darcy, said coldly. You're no longer her mate. The room fell silent. I was shocked, staring at Darcy. He shouldn't have said that in front of everyone. It would raise suspicion. But he gave me a reassuring look, and I gripped my spoon, awaiting Richard's response. When Richard couldn't find the words, a low growl rumbled from Lucien's chest, making everyone tense. My wolf whimpered in fear.
My wolf? Okay, we're going too far. We need to stand down, okay? Well, y'all provided me with crazy story times, and I may have regretted this idea. I don't know if this idea will ever pop up again, but it's gonna be a while if it does. Let me know if you enjoyed this, man. Thanks, Nick.